All right, hello wine drinking people. We're back with more of what I had to drink yesterday. Our annual Jed Steele dinner last week. Just an incredible event. Jed always brings the people out. We had 90 people, a sold out house here, and some fantastic wines and a lot of fun as well. You know, that's one of the things I love about Jed's wines is they are fun. And Jed has been making wine since the 60s and has made wine, you know, at all levels. He brought Kendall Jackson from a small winery to a million-case brand just in Vintners Reserve Chardonnay alone, and then decided, you know, look, I need to get my hands back into wine, into winemaking, started his own label in 1991. And we were the first people on the bandwagon. Our first dinner with Jed, well, I think it was with Kendall Jackson in 1990, but he came back in 93 when he released his wines, and we've had a dinner every year. Some years, two dinners. Like I said, they're always a huge success. Jed is a very well-liked guy. He makes wines for the people. His most expensive wine, the Stymie, it's only like 35 bucks. So, you know, he's resisted the temptation to do what a lot of people have done and come up with these iconic wines that are $100 a bottle. But, you know, kudos to Jed because everything he's got really is worthy of being in my store. And what an incredible dinner Ali put out at Cafe Maxx. Man, just the pass-arounds were enough to eat. The oyster shooters with cucumber mignonette, brilliant with the Shooting Star Sauvignon Blanc from Lake County. Still ferments this juice in stainless steel tanks to keep that wonderful freshness and character of the grapes. And lovely citrusy qualities to this. And a little bit of minerality to it too. Some kind of whetstone nuance and fresh baled hay. But really lovely food wine. Went great with the panko shrimp with this noix cham chili sauce. And a salmon tartare with shiitake mushrooms and ginger and a little spoon. And then the jumbo lump crab pancakes, man, with roasted corn salsa. Like I said, you have two of each of those, and that's pretty much dinner for most people, but we're not even getting started here yet. We're not even in the first course at Cafe Maxx wine dinner. And the Shooting Star, $11 and change. Are you kidding me? Brilliance. All right, the first course, lobster and portobello stuffed rainbow trout with Swiss chard lobster sauce and poppy seed florons. That just sounds delicious, man. This guy, Ali, genius, buddy. All right, well, the Steele Pinot Blanc, we replaced the Roussan at the last minute because that wine was gone. Pinot Blanc, Jed calls his baby Chardonnay. This is from a Santa Barbara vineyard, Mendocino, very famous. Kind of hints of vanilla bean spice, even though this wine is in neutral oak. I kind of got a little bit of oak spice out of it. Pear, peach-like fruit, really seductive forward bouquet here. Lovely richness on the palate. And then it's kind of like this green apple fruit freshness there on the finish. A really nicely balanced wine with a little touch of spice on the finish. Went brilliant with that lobster and portobello stuffed trout. All right, next up, a little veal and sausage stuffed shells. Man, with herb ricotta. There's no one that does stuffed shells better than Ali, man. This wine with a basil pomodoro sauce, wild mushroom, Parmesan thyme cream sauce. An incredible amount of richness with this dish. What do you have with this? Pinot Noir. His Pinot Noir from Mendocino, from Southern California. Very well-known vineyard in Santa Maria Valley. On the bench, it overlooks the Sisquoc River. Any of you that know where that is? I don't know why Jed points these things out, but really highly esteemed. And, you know, Mendocino is Spanish for well-born. And one of the prime vineyards for Pinot Noir in this area. And this wine has this lovely kind of spice to it and nuance. And Jed brought, in addition to the 08, the 2000 vintage with him. Thank you very much, Jed, for our 20th wine dinner. He figured he would bust a few things out of the cellar. This wine had this lovely softness to this lovely velvetyness on the palate. One of the things I love about aged Pinot Noir. It is really sexy juice. Still had some nice cherry fruit and some nice exotic kind of allspice notes on the finish and good freshness. The 08 still needs a little time. That big cherry and clove and spice, really intense and a little bit maybe too intense at the moment. But, you know, if you like, most people like young California wines. I'm really attracted to older Pinot Noir. And older 2000, only 10 years old. So I think the 2000 would still last a couple of years. And maybe we'll bring it back in our 25th wine dinner or something like that. A grilled roasted Bell & Evans chicken with sun-dried fruit risotto and fall vegetables and natural jus. Really, Ali? I mean, at this point, most people were like, we still got 2 more courses coming out. And several wines, of course. We had the Steele Pacini Vineyard Zinfandel. The Pacini family planted this vineyard in 1940 on the western foothills of the Mayacamas mountain range in Mendocino County. And Jed has got some of the oldest Zinfandel juice in Mendocino. Catfish, over 100 years old. This wine had that lovely brambly fruit and really nice spice. Not over the top in terms of alcohol like a lot of Zins are in California. Nice dusty cocoa, kind of chocolatey finish. We also had the 2003 vintage of this wine. You know how I feel about old Zinfandel. You know, to me it loses its character, but when you have vines that are this old, you can keep Zinfandel for upwards of 10 years. This wine had this lovely softness to it and still had that spice and still lovely balance, but a really nice example of an older Zinfandel. Like I said, man, there's still more to come. Herb and peppercorn filet mignon. Somebody kill me, please. With chipotle onions, button mushrooms, Yukon Gold, horseradish sour cream, mashed potatoes with chives. I think I had a bite or two of this, man, but let me tell you, most people were putting the doggy bags out at this time, and, beautifully cooked. And Steele's Red Hills Cabernet Sauvignon 2008 with this wine, this iron-rich red soil of the Red Hills really translates into the wine. You get this very distinct minerality and earthiness here, but an herbaceousness also from the Cabernet Sauvignon, a lovely balance there, and still some lovely currant and black cherry fruits. Really well-balanced Cabernet, but this wine's got some cojones, man. You can keep this for a couple more years. Desserts, I'm not even going to talk about that. And the black bubbles, hey, this is something Jed found when he was in Australia. He was inspired by the black Shiraz, the sparkling Shiraz of South Australia. But let me tell you, man, most people try this wine. There was a lot of black bubbles glasses left on the table. It's not for everybody, but it was really nice. Probably really nice with the dessert if you had room to eat it. All right, folks, that's what we had to drink and eat at the Steele dinner. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.